Hi everyone, I thought I would carry on using up all my little scraps and show you how to make these. You can do either. You can have it without a window or with a window. You just miss out the acetate piece. Okay, so it's just 2 little votive candles in there with matching little wraps to your box. Simple, nice and easy to do. Again, just a scrap buster, using up your scraps. I've done so many projects, I've got a whole wallet full of scraps I need to use up. There we go. Right, so to make this one, you need a piece of paper, double-sided, quite heavyweight paper, and it measures 19 times 15.5 centimetres. You shouldn't, if you don't know already, I don't work in inches, it's centimetres. I just don't even think in inches. Okay, and you also need 2 candle wraps, both measuring 13.3.5 centimetres. That's to go around your votive candles inside. You need a teeny piece of acetate measuring 7.4 times 3.5, and a little piece of scrap cord that we're going to use to cut out the aperture, and that measures 6.5 times 3 centimetres. So I will leave all of those there so that you can see them, so that if you didn't scribble down the measurements you can take them from there hopefully. Okay, so on the length, along the length of this one, you need to score at 4 centimetres and 11.5 centimetres, and just to reiterate, this is 19 times 15.5 and you're going to score at 4 and 11.5. And you're going to turn it by a quarter, go that way, and you're going to score at 4.5, 8.5, 13 and 17. I'll do that again for you. 4.5, 8.5, 13 and 17. Okay, so we'll cut a bit more off this one than we usually do. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to cut about half of this little block out. So we're going to cut that bit off. We're going to cut all of that off, and all of that off, and all of that off. Then we're going to come down to this square down here, and we're going to cut half of that off as well. Okay, I hope you can see that, but you'll see it once I've cut it. Okay, so going along from the 4.5 first score line, moving up towards the narrowest score line, I'm just going to cut through the score lines and then cut this approximately in half. And I'm going to do the same up here. But as we're cutting this off anyway, I'm just going to cut this off to get it out of the way, and that gives you access to get to this one. So you're going to cut that one in half as well. There you go. Then you need to wedge a little bit, not too much. It's just either going to be folded down inside your lid. There we go. Then you're going to do exactly the same in reverse at this side. So straight down the first square and the second, then cut that in half approximately, wedge a little bit, and wedge a little bit there too. Miss the next one, fold, cut straight down this fold line, and this one, cut that top little triangle off, cut that one in half approximately, and then wedge it. There we go. So that's what you have. Okay. Now with your corner rounder, or by hand, actually I'm just going to trim that. I haven't cut that very well. The sun keeps moving around. Right. I'm going to fold these lines down first, and it'll just make it easy to show you the next part. I normally fold these before I cut them actually. It's just this is video number 4 or 5 now. That includes a couple of rejects because the washing machine was so loud upstairs I couldn't hear myself think. Okay, and then fold it across. I actually meant to do this the other way out, but it doesn't matter. I meant to have the green on the outside, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Now, with your corner rounder punch, fold the sides in because you want to get to this tab up here. It's not a gluing tab, these are going to tuck in to your box. So round those two off, and then you're going to fold that down and round those two off, and you're going to fold that down and do the last two. There we go. They're all going to tuck inside your box. Right, now if you want to have a window, you need to use your little template to create that now. So you want it in the center of the panel with the rounded template, with the rounded tabs around it. And you want it in the center the best you can, bearing in mind whatever's left around the outside is the only place you've got to stick your acetate. So try and center it as the best you can. Yeah, that's fairly good, I think. Okay, then with your craft knife, oh sorry, I didn't realise that one was upside down. You can't read it upside down, can you? With your craft knife, use your template and push your craft knife up against your template and just carefully cut around it. There we go. So that's our little thing out. Now your acetate, I use my 3mm tape when I'm using acetate because no matter what I do I end up with glue on it, so I try and avoid going near it with glue, and this 3mm tape's perfect for the job. It's just your regular double-sided tape but just a very thin one. So take a border of it all the way around the inside of your aperture and get it as close to the edge as you can, the edge of the aperture as opposed to the edge of the panels. Then burnish it down. It not only helps it stick better, but it makes it easier to get the carrier paper off. So I always use the back of an old craft blade for this job. It just gets underneath the carrier paper and helps me ease it off. Okay, now with your acetate, you're aiming to cover up the tape. The sun keeps going down. Right. But try not to get it. Gently. No, it's not going to go. Try not to get it across the scored lines. It's a bit tight. Maybe we should have made a smaller aperture. No, we're good. There we go. Right, so there's your window. Right, now I haven't got 2 candles ready, so I'm going to take the candles out of here, but I'll tell you how to do it when I get there. Right, so these are the 2 gluing tabs. Put glue, one sec, let me go there. Yeah, right. Put glue on the inside of these ones, okay? because what we want to do is hide them. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the back and then stick the glue and tab to the outside. I know that doesn't feel right, but believe me, it works. It's right. So stick your glue and tab to the outside of the back panel. Okay. Make sure you're nice and square. Like so. Yeah, so they're both on the outside. Then this is a full panel, so it is going to cover these glue and tabs, so you won't see them inside or outside of the box. So fully cover this panel with glue. There we go. And then bring it over the top of those two glue and tabs you've just put down there, and they're perfectly hidden inside. You would never know they were there. Okay, now square your box up nicely. Make sure everything's stuck down nicely. Use your bone folder, because there's quite a bit of glue going on inside of there. There we go. As I say, I don't think I've got any votive candles right here with me at the moment. So all you do is, because it's quite a thin strip of paper, you can get away with bending it around using your bone folder, and then all you're going to do is wrap it around your candle and glue it in place. Okay, but make sure you glue it so that it's not going to fall off, but so that it would slide off, because you're not going to want people to use the candles with the paper on. And if you make it too difficult for them to get it off by having it too tight, they could cause an accident. So as I said, make sure your paper isn't on too tight, that the recipient can get it off easily. Okay, so there you go. With those candles in there, that would be your box. So if I close this one again, there we go, and that one will have your two candles inside, and that will close down in the same way. So there's your duo candle box. Thank you, bye.